a status update on the pycsw project. So we'll give you an overview of the project, some of the things that it supports in terms of features, the architecture, how it's put together, and what it allows you to do. We'll also talk about latest developments and updates in the project, as well as selected downstream projects and examples. And Paul will do a live demo as well. Then we'll talk about future plans and next steps in terms of future releases. So PyCSW is an OGC API records server implementation. So OGC API records was recently published by OGC in the last month or so, and it's also an OGC catalog service for the web, or CSW server implementation. Initially, it was a CSW implementation. That's why we called it PyCSW. But with the invention of OGC API records, our focus is on that standard, given that it is superseding the CSW standard. Obviously, it's open source, and it's been it works on all the major platforms, and it's been an OSGeo project since 2015. It fully implements the standards. It's a reference implementation for CSW, and we are striving for reference implementation status for OGC API records as well. It supports a number of different search APIs. So it supports, in addition to records and CSW, it supports Stack, OpenSearch, the Open Archives Initiative for protocol for metadata harvesting, something called SRU, which is a very standard from a long time ago, but we still have that support. And the basic workflow is that you can publish and discover your geospatial metadata, whether you have ISO metadata or stack metadata or DCAT or OGC API records. If you wanted to harvest a web service, it does that as well. So it's basically, its focus is on metadata publication and discovery. We're OGC compliant and an OSGeo project. So I'll just slip over there. Not only for CSW2, but for CSW3 as well. And we hope to have another badge up here next year for OGC API records when site is ready. It's been around since 2010. Version 1 was released shortly thereafter. We're part of the OSGeo Live project, and we're certified compliant again. We had a very major deployment in 2014 with the US data.gov efforts, and that really helped put the project on the map, if you will. And it was a very big metadata repository of, I think, 500,000 records at the time, which was a lot at the time. And a lot of improvements went into the implementation as part of that deployment. We kept developing, and we released version 2 in 2016, and we then became the reference implementation for CSW3. From there, around 2019, 2020, in OGC, we started working on something called CAT4 or CSW4, which turned into OGC API records. So the project the PyCSW project during this time, we started following the OGC API record work. So we developed as part of the OGC API records work, and that took just as long as the specification. So it took 4 or 5 years for that record specification to be published by OGC, and we're along that same trail in PyCSW, which is why we have not had our major 3.0 release yet, which is being planned. We added OGC API transactions as well as stack support. So we do support publishing stack collections, stack catalogs, stack items, and we respect the entire hierarchy of the stack resource models, so that when you use PyCSW, it will automatically make it look like a stack collection, looks like a OGC API collection. So it does a lot of fancy things with stack that's been used for Earth observation projects. So we're in maintenance mode basically until we do our major release. We try to be lightweight and stay out of the user's way. Standalone catalog. We do not have a graphical user interface. We are basically a headless implementation or an installation, and we can be used in downstream applications. GeoNode is one of those applications. EOEPCA is another one. We'll talk about those a little bit later. Quickly, features. So we support a ton of standards, not only API standards, but metadata standards. So we have parsers and encoders and decoders and serializers for all these standards of metadata, whether they are dataset metadata or whether they are web service metadata. simple configuration. We've recently moved to a YAML configuration, which makes things a little bit more composable that way, and we integrate with downstream applications such as GeoNode and CCAN and others. So there's our laundry list of standards support. It goes on and on. So standards is really important for the project, as you can see. How is it put together? We have an architecture where we have pycsw as a core, and underneath we have a number of parsers that are able to be implemented, whether you want to harvest a WMS or some sort of other OGC API service, or you want to upload some metadata directly. From there, our core gets exposed through a web framework. So we use Flask as a default. We introduced Flask as part of the OGC API records work because before the CSW implementation was not RESTful. It did not have to be, because now the OGC API record standard is a RESTful based standard. We needed some machinery to do that quite easily, and Flask does that for us. So we chose Flask to do that deployment. Whoops. I'll skip over the installation, and I'm going to hand it over to Paul to discuss latest developments.
Hi. So good to have a small group so we can have some conversation after the presentation. I'm Paul Varkenucht. I work at World Soil in Wageningen, and we deploy a number of catalogs in our organization. Almost for every project, a catalog is needed, and these catalogs then tend to be maintained for a number of years. So we don't want to spend a lot of time in maintaining the things. And then pycsw is really useful because it's just a Python application with a Postgres database behind it. And Postgres is a really good fit for that use case. I'll dive a bit into the functionalities. Tom already said we don't have a user interface. Well, since OGC API, we kind of have a user interface because any OGC API has an HTML front end. So what you're looking at here is the HTML representation of a JSON document to retrieve the search results. There on this picture you see a special aspect, which is the facets. You may know from Amazon, if you select a shoe size or a color of your trousers. This is introduced here in the catalog, and it's actually in the OGC API records standard as a plugin extension to the core model, because it's so important to catalogs to have this functionality. And pycsw is one of the first implementations that actually has this extension available, although it's not formalized yet, so it's still under development. Then we have OGC API transactions. So it means you can update metadata records, add metadata records via the API. What you're looking here at is the typical Swagger API page that comes with any REST API these days. And this is a bit of Python code to indicate how easy it is to update some metadata records on the catalog. In this case, it's using the OWS lib library, which is another Python library from our community that is presented in one of the other presentations. So with the recent update, we added a number of updates. For OGC API records, we now have part 1, part 2, the facets, and part 3, the transactions. And we have enhanced the stack support. So pycsw, besides all the other standards, now has the OGC API records as well as the stack standard, which overlap, of course, a bit. But this is a nice thing about these tools, that they can support both standards. So on the back end, we're really working to have an abstraction of the backend repository. Up till now, we were quite tied to Postgres and SQLite, but we aim to abstract that so we can also support different kinds of use backends, such as Elasticsearch and Solr and others. That requires quite a bit of refactoring, and most of that work already happened because we benefit from the pygeofilter module, which had that abstraction available since recently. So let's go a bit into recent projects. This is a project that I'm working on. It's called the Soilwise project. It's from the soil domain, and it's in the scope of Horizon Europe research. And the goal of that project is to have one access point to have available scattered and heterogeneous soil data from various sources. And when I say various sources, I mean really various sources. Like it's coming from academia, so those typically use the data CITES schema from OpenAir. Government data coming from Data Europe EU and the Inspire portal, and institutes such as FAO, EEA, Copernicus. So that's really yeah, we have to do a lot of harmonization of those metadata records because each of these communities typically have their own metadata schemas. And so this results in a topic catalog, which you can access. So by now we have 30,000 records in that catalog, and we have 10 faceted fields. Let me show that here. So you get like 12,000 journal articles. It's a typical these facets. The thing is that we run a bit into performance problems because with Postgres as a backend, with this type of numbers, the catalog software gets a bit slow. So we're really looking forward to this moment that Solr is available as a backend. But as long as the other option is not to enable facets, then there are known use cases of millions of records and still being performant. But it's a combination of size and facets that makes the thing can make it slow. Another thing we aim for is that we index PDF content, so to increase the full text search capabilities. And if you have a long full text search field, then highlighting becomes important. Where in the string did you find the actual search match? And that's the thing that we hope to add soon. We have a continuous link liveness assessment, so all the links in the metadata are checked for availability. And that also helps to understand if a WMS, for example, is advertised, to know if the layer is available and how to access it. So we can more easily create a preview image of the WMS service. And then lastly, we use LLM NLP to better understand user questions on one hand, but also provide better search results. Then I'm going to hand over to Tom again.
Thanks, Paul. Another example application is the ESA's Earth Observation Exploitation Platform Common Architecture. So this is an exploitation platform to manage and publish EO resources, whether they are EO data or algorithms or processes or other tools. This is again an ESA project, and it's there's an open source implementation based on the Common Architecture, which is based on a lot of OGC standards and beyond. So the project has a resource catalog component to it, and that is powered by pycsw. Another example application, a suite of applications are from the Norwegian Meteorological Institute. So they run a number of catalogs for national, regional, and international activities, as you can see here. And they have pycsw underneath all of them. So they do quite a lot of metadata work at that institute, which is very impressive. And they continue to use pycsw to help deploy that. We have worked with them in the last few months to improve support for Solr, which is what they're interested in using as opposed to Postgres. So there's ongoing work from the group, and we're working on that refactor of the repository to allow for NoSQL databases as part of that work. And in MSc in Canada, we have contributing to the WMO information system. So we have the data collection and production center catalog that implements the WMO WMO information system standards through that catalog. Roadmap, next steps. Obviously, we've been waiting for the specification from OGC to be published for records. That has now been published and ratified. So everything's out there in the public. So we are starting to inch closer toward a 3.0. Many of us in the project were involved in the standards working group. So it was I think, a benefit to have exposure and insight into the specification development process as part of your implementation. So that was an important part of our efforts and feeding us into 3.0. So we will also start to work on a little bit more federation because there is part 3 coming out for OGC API records called create, replace, update, delete, and harvesting. So that will that capability, which was in CSW, will also come to OGC API records, and we will follow that just the same. We're going to finish off the repository abstraction, which includes very deep PyGeoFilter integration. And for anybody who's interested in doing filters in a very powerful way in Python, I highly recommend PyGeoFilter. It abstracts away and is able to connect to tons of different filtering standards from OGC and beyond. So we also updated our configuration to YAML, and we have a CLI, command line interface administration tool, that will also be part of the next release. 3.0 is on the horizon, as we mentioned. So we are waiting for the compliance tests from OGC, but we realize that it might take time for those to surface. So we're looking at the end of 2025 to release version 3. A question that we get a lot is, how does this relate to PyGeo API? This PyGeo API is also an OGC API project, which implements OGC API records. The short answer would be, if you simply have metadata records and you want to publish them, you could use something like PyGeo API, which accepts only the OGC API records format. If you have different metadata formats, if you wanted to do deeper workflows for publication, metadata transformation, or anything more involved, then you should be using pycsw for your catalog solution compared to PyGeo API. And quickly, we have our our existing community. There's a mailing list. There's a Gitter channel. Everything is on GitHub, like most things, and there's professional support available if you would like an enhancement or any support with deployments and so on. That's all of it. So hopefully this has been a valuable exercise for telling you guys where the project is at and what our future plans are. So thank you for your attendance, and we welcome any questions or any discussion.